Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Thursday, December 13th, 2012. I'm Astrologer David Palmer, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. What a day! Really, it's all about the 13th. 12, 12, 12. Yes, a lot of people talked about this and opening up to the portals and, today's really the day, everybody. I gotta be honest with you. We had the new moon early this morning, so while you were sleeping, we had this new moon. So I hope that late last night you really sent out to the universe, your big picture of your life, stepping into all the knowledge. Really, where do you want to take all the experiences and where are we pushing all this energy? Now, it's really important for us to take a look at Uranus. Uranus, stationary in Aries, now moving into direct. So the electricity is turning on. And whenever Uranus turns on, it really is like a wow moment. It's like the old bugs on the fuse panel and the electricity and the sparks and all the lights turning on. So this is some powerful energy. It's good to see where Uranus is in your chart. It's good to see what Uranus rules for you in your chart, because this is some forward movement, some electricity, some really big innovation in our life. And what is this doing for us individually? We are stepping into this new unique self. We are stepping into the courage to really redefine who we are, to see outside the box and really step outside the status quo and really become the true person that we are. That's because we are still with that North Node in Scorpio. We really have to pay attention to Scorpio. This is where Saturn still is. This is where the North Node is. We're finishing Venus too. We are finding ways to expose our truth, to how to feel good, how to connect with people. There is no more BS with relationships. You can't take the BS. It's just so apparent. The truth is really there. And you know what? Today, as we had this new moon, it was seeing the big picture of what's truthful in our life and our relationships. More importantly, what is going on with the structure of our life. Stepping into this new structure, letting go old rules that you've always lived by. It's time to let go of those old rules. Uranus is now catching up, wanting to square Pluto again and really rebel against Pluto. Woo! We got an old structure we got to just let down, don't we? We have to really just radically come into this new self. Now, Mercury is trining Uranus for this big moment today. So wow, another powerful alignment. Mercury is in the lighter part. Thank gosh. I'll be honest with you, Mercury and Scorpio and a retrograde there can be heavy on our minds, heavy on exposing the truth, wanting to be the detective, wanting to figure things out. Mercury and Venus were together, trying to understand our relationships. Oh my gosh, so much been going on in the last couple weeks. But now we lighten up. It's time to focus on ourselves, on our change of who we are. That's where the energy's at, the big picture for ourselves, the big picture for the belief that we come into in our life. Now the moon today coming into Capricorn. So as the moon, finished up this new moon in Sagittarius, really opened us up. It's go time. The 13th is go time. Let's go, baby. We got the moon in Capricorn. We're going to take things seriously. We're going to take seriously, our belief in our life. We're going to look at the structure. We're not going to be afraid to step into this new unique self. We need to emotionally tap into all this Plutonian energy, all this big change that is of the structure, of the bare bones of our life, of the core, of how we really go for things based off our highest good. It's taking our life seriously and starting to see that the serious part of our life should be stepping into the new self. The more you're trying to be like the person you were last week, the person you were 2 years ago, I gotta say, it's time to really step into the new. And you know what? Let's look at Neptune. Mercury just finishing off squaring Neptune. Now it's starting to square Chiron. This is a very important spot for us to not get confused, to learn to follow our gut, to follow our intuition, and for us to really step into our beliefs, one based off our spiritual self. Whenever we do have a little 9th house, 12th house energy, I always like to say, you know what? We might spiritually have some places that we come into, but do we really believe in those spiritual things? We need to align them together. Our beliefs need to align with spirit, and this will help with our mind and our attitude and not getting too confused. If you believe in something, make sure it's in alignment with your spiritual self. That's really where all that energy is. Now, I want to be real with you. There's been so much information going on about 12, 12, 12, about all this stuff. There's a lot of spiritual people out there. There's a lot of different information. There's channels of Saint Germain. There's channels of, Archangel Michael. There's all this powerful energy about 12, 12, 12 being this day of this portal. And you know what? I believe so much of, there is a portal of humanity opening. There is a lot of good energy. But I'm talking about the science. We must not forget to get confused. We have a guide to the universe, and it is through astrology. It is our connection with above and so below. And there's a lot of information right now that is confusing people. And I got to be honest with you. Just listen to yourself. There's people out there saying they're listening to their guides and they're listening to this and da-da. The truth is, this is yourself you're listening to. You have to follow the guides of your own self. The guides of the planets, the guides of the science, the synchronicities, the signs that happen in your life. This is where we guide ourselves. Don't get off course. There's actually quite a lot of people out there who are picking off information based off looking at a cloud and so forth, and it's kind of confusing for them. And the truth is, yes, there is shifts happening, but we need to pay attention to the science. December 21st didn't come and is not arriving based off just some guides telling somebody about it. This is science. This is our sun rising across the ecliptic galactic center and coming in to a new space. So that's why we're having it. 12, 12, 12? Well, science-wise, I guess 12, 12, 12 is pretty significant with the numbers, but let's be real here, folks. Today, the 13th, is really where there's a lot of the energy happening, the opening up of ourselves, the opening up of our new selves. Let's not get caught off into too much mumbo-jumbo. Let's stay on the course of the map. Let's not get confused. Neptune and Pisces is confusing times. Just go back in history. Civil War. Let's just say that, okay? Confusing times. Confusing information. All this Neptune energy, all this Chiron energy. You know what? Squaring Black Moon Lilith. Starting to, square Jupiter again. There's lots of information. There's lots of spiritual information. But coming clear with these two places, let's start to look at the cold hard facts. Let's start to connect the dots in a reasonable way. Let's remember that ascension is something that you've been going through since the day you were born. Not because 12, 12, 12 hit or because December 21st hit. We're all writing cycles of time. Let's follow those cycles of time. Let's not get caught up in too much of the mumbo jumbo out there. Now, I'm doing a documentary on the 21st of December, going out to the desert, and your donations help quite a bit with, I'll be honest, so much to make this happen. I'm really pushing hard through till Sunday. If you go down below, I have so much information. With what you donate, you're not going to just be donating. You're actually going to get big readings and so forth from me and lots of information. So check all that info out. If you have any questions, email me, david@david-palmer.com, and I'll see you tomorrow.